okay color, but it's not like the best color. Oh, hey! How's it going, everybody? This time in HD. Welcome to another episode of 8-Bit Chat. I'm Angelo Oriema. Alongside of me are some lovely friends of mine. Namely Landon Corbin today. He's the only other person on that show.
I guess
Welcome,
so.
Landon. Hey.
All right, yeah.
And that's it. This is our show today. No, we also have the beautiful Parker Carlson.
Hi, I'm just off screen.
There he is. Look at that. Look at this.
Yeah.
Look at those
Camera.
beautiful
Look at that little boy.
technical achievements.
Look
And
at that
then we
tiny
have Logan Lackluster Lewis.
I'm a ghost
Yeah.
right now. I'm not a ghost anymore. Logan Lackluster Lewis coming at you from the power of the internet.
So guys, we hope you had a really great end of 2018, beginning of 2019. We're back. We didn't get canceled, which was quite a surprise.
Yeah.
And we're here to talk about some video games. Talk about what we love about video games. Talk about what we hate about video games. So how you guys been treating video games? How have they been treating you since we last saw each other? What have you guys been doing?
Treating me all right, I guess.
Still trying to finish Red Dead 2.
Oh my
got
God.
It took me an entire break and
It's
I
been
started
82 years.
Yes.
82
It's been 84 years.
Lots of Smash Brothers. I downloaded a Blast from the Past the other day.
Ooh.
Something I forgot existed, but it stole my life when I was like 8 years old. And it was
Okay.
Toontown Online.
Oh my God.
Are the servers still up?
No, a bunch of fans just remade the game with assets, and so I was playing Toontown Online for the first time.
How
in
was
over a
Wow.
it,
decade.
by the way?
It was magic.
Was it magic?
It was magic.
Did
I,
you
played,
learn?
I played like an hour and a half, then I was like, okay. But it was a fun hour and a half. It was really amazing.
it.
You're going down that like Wizard 101, like
Yep.
RuneScape type.
Wasn't there a
Yep.
Lego MMO too?
Yeah,
I would,
Lego
there was a
Universe.
Pirates of the
I
Caribbean.
used to
one.
play that.
All right, so we're going to hop into some news here. Our main topic of the day later on down the road is going to be our top 5 favorite games of all time. But first off, one quick story to catch us up from the break. Recently, Kotaku publishes that EA has canceled yet another Star Wars game, this time an open world title, the article by Jason Schreier. So how do you guys feel about this?
I just want to like, oh, curse you, EA.
Yeah?
We've got what, 2 Battlefronts, and that's it.
So-
and they were really bad.
That's kind of the story going on right now, is that a lot of people are posting this meme online, which, you know, whatever, but it holds a lot of ground because in 6 years, LucasArts, when they owned the Star Wars license to make video games, they put out, let me see, it looks like 18 games, something like that. Well, that's actually not true because Force Unleashed 2 and Force Unleashed didn't come out in that time period. But nonetheless, about 10 plus games.
And each of those were amazing.
Yeah,
like I can't see a game on that list that wasn't good.
Yeah, well, Star Wars Force Unleashed
okay.
wasn't great, but nonetheless, like even if these aren't completely like A+ quality titles, they're you don't want to oversaturate the market, but there's kind of a happy medium there, as opposed to EA in the last 6 years putting out Star Wars Battlefront 1 and Star Wars Battlefront 2.
Yeah, compared to 2 games, and the first one wasn't even finished. So
Yeah, and then the second one had the second one had the loot box controversy as well.
yeah. So I mean, like they're not doing well so far,
No, they're
and
not.
I don't see a bright future for them at all.
Well,
with the Star Wars.
Well, here's the thing too: is that this year apparently is going to have the Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. We haven't seen an iota of that game. We heard the title that EA is going to be making that game. Other than that, we haven't heard news about a Battlefront 3. Not that anyone's really begging for it. We haven't heard any news about anything else.
Yeah.
And so people are starting to get very mad and start to wonder whether or not they're going to have the license going forward. So
I think that they're probably going to keep it, considering I think what I just read here, they have like a bunch of mobile games that are racking in money.
okay.
Oh my God.
So like, and that's all that matters. If they're
Star
racking
Wars
it,
Bubble Blast.
Yeah, Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes.
Star Wars Brick Breaker.
Oh.
Can you break against that?
Why?
But yeah, so not looking good in regards to Star Wars games, because I love Star Wars games, in terms of Battlefront back in the day.
Yeah.
The old one was amazing.
Old
Force
Battlefront
Unleashed
games were
amazing.
fantastic.
Knights of the Old Republic, I would play those days on it.
Good God.
What's cool is you could play those by yourself too, and it would be great. Like you didn't have to even be online to play them. Like it was amazing.
It's weird that we live in a world now too where back in the day those were so crazy that a licensed game could be good, whereas now we have the Arkham games, we have Spider-Man. and-
Yeah, we have so many
Yeah,
good
They
ones.
they're not as rare, but then again it's like, they've been swings and misses so far.
I was about to say it's rare to come by a good one at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Arkham and Spider-Man
Best way
are
to put
definitely
it.
out, stand out from the bunch.
I can't even think of another licensed game besides those 2 that really.
Well,
There was that Thor video game that came out for
let's get real. Iron Man for the PSP.
Ooh.
I messed with that. One analog stick.
I had a PSP once.
The PSP was such a piece of garbage.
With a PC.
PSP was great.
I liked the PSP's games, but one analog stick I can't get over. And I played it at the time, but looking back, I was like, why did I touch that thing?
Okay, but like you could watch movies on it. I had this little attachment.
I never did. I watched Spider-Man 2 one
okay. I had an attachment to my PSP that was like these huge speakers that were bigger than the PSP
Nerd
itself.
alert.
And you could watch the best movies on that little screen. It was so
could.
great.
You know how else you can watch movies? Watch the movie once and just close your eyes and play back in your head. And that's cheaper.
Turn on brain playback.
And they called it the Universal Media Disc, as if it was
the
universal and
unified
wanted
media.
everything. It went in the PSP, and that's it.
And that weird little
Those discs were
plastic
stupid.
cartridge
Yeah, the white
too. It was
cartridge that
yeah.
they had.
It was a
have to
cartridge,
watch
but there's a
Click
disc
on it.
inside of it.
That's the
2000
worst time I
It's
think
the
I've ever.
best movie.
You watch Click on a PSP?
Yes.
That sounds like literal hell.
That's a horror story. That's a horror
You were
story.
tortured as a
best
young
time.
child.
All right, guys. Well, in better news, coming up in the next couple weeks, this upcoming Friday, we have Resident Evil 2 Remake coming out. Very excited about that.
yeah.
Oh yeah, I've been hearing a lot about that.
Been getting a lot of traction.
The demo was fantastic, only a half hour, and then it just boots you out of the game.
But
Wow.
apparently, yeah, I was going to say
That's
apparently
amazing.
not many could finish
Punch you in
it.
the face.
And then next week, before we are back here in 8-Bit Chat, we have Kingdom Hearts 3 finally supposedly coming out, assuming it doesn't get delayed the day beforehand.
I kind of don't want to play that game
I
because
don't
how
wanna play it.
amazing people
I've
talk
never
about
been a
it is.
Kingdom Hearts.
Like it's,
I've
yeah, I've never played
played a
it.
Kingdom Hearts.
Wow,
I've
okay,
never played it,
there
and
you
like
go.
I
Never
feel
played a
like
Kingdom
People
Hearts.
are going to get
Yeah.
really mad that we're having a video game podcast and 4 people haven't
I
played
mean, like,
Kingdom Hearts.
I've
no
heard
idea.
things that I've watched some good things about the latest one, but like I haven't.
I mean, it's not really like one of those games that you have to play.
Have you told me, let me see.
I haven't told you jack.
Are you
When-
telling me that you haven't played Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep?
What that?
when
Oh,
Sephiroth
PSP?
starts mixing with Goofy,
I mean, it's a
I
PSP
missed
game,
that
so
one
you would
out.
think that. Like,
Are you guys
played it.
telling me that you haven't played Kingdom Hearts 358 divided by 2 days?
What?
the day
Are
before?
you guys
the day
telling
after
me you
tomorrow?
haven't played Kingdom Hearts 3D Dream Drop Distance?
Are you guys
I've
telling
heard
me
of that.
These
Kingdom
are all
Hearts
very
Are you
real
just like on a
Kingdom
random word
Boogaloo?
generator?
Are you telling me you haven't played Kingdom Hearts 2.8 Final Chapter Prologue? Is that what you're telling me?
What-
For PlayStation 4.
This
probably
bit has
PS4,
been dead for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so let's change topics here. So those are the games coming out soon. Resident Evil 2 Remake, the review embargo dropped today. It's getting extremely great reviews.
Yes.
I'm excited to play it. Probably play it on Friday. But we'll get
Ooh.
some talk about that next time. But in the meantime, I want to focus on a really positive episode today.
Positive
You know, let's step away from the
positive
negativity.
boys.
Let's be a little more wholesome
Let's
this
stop
year.
thinking about
2019,
Let's
year of
stop
the
thinking
wholesome.
about the EA screwing up,
Yeah,
about
EA
Telltale
Sports
shutting
not in the
down,
game.
about workers
Thanks
in
for
the
reminding me.
industry being abused.
Abuse,
Ah.
120-hour work
Let's
weeks.
stop thinking about that,
It's not,
man.
it's
talk
not
about
happening
that.
if you don't think about it.
Yeah, we're not a part of it, so it doesn't matter.
So what we are going to talk about are our individual top 5 favorite games of all time.
All time.
We have about 20 minutes here, so we can kind of blast through these real quick. I was thinking we can go honorable mentions, go through, and then just go 5, 5, 5, that kind of thing until we finish it
Okay.
up. We each do our number 5s, number 4s,
Yeah,
so
3s,
on.
2s, 1s, and 0s.
And we can give a little spiel about that. We can't go too long, unfortunately, but just kind of talk about why we love these games, what they mean to us, that kind of shebang.
Shebang.
That kind of
Shibuya.
That kind of
Shibuya.
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 Parker
Yeah.
Carlson, would you do us the honor of starting off with your honorable mentions, if you have any?
Honorable mention? Ooh, it took
You
me a
don't
while
have to-
just to
you
come
don't
up
have
with
to
number
yet.
5.
You could do number 5 if
You
you
know
want.
what? The one game though that I can't say that it's my favorite game, but it's probably I have like over a month straight
Toontown?
of time into it.
Toontown.
Right next to Toontown is Smite. I don't.
Jeez,
Yeah,
Smite's pretty
it's
good.
just the one like
Smite's
MOBA
pretty
that
good.
I play, and yeah, it got bad after I checked the time played, and it's like 30 days. I'm like, okay, I'll step back for a bit. I'll step back for a bit.
I could have been a millionaire.
I could have done something productive with my day.
Well, if you don't have a bunch of honorable mentions, you can just do number 5. That's fine.
Yeah,
you can do
just-
honorable mention and number 5 in the same
Yeah,
one.
that's
Yeah.
right.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Well,
Hop in there.
number 5, I'd have to say, Portal 2.
Oh,
okay.
Portal 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's really
I
good.
would have said Portal, but I feel like Portal 2 has a better story.
Okay.
Like, all in all, and it's a longer game.
Little
so.
Wheatley action.
Yeah, Wheatley, funny. Oh gosh, and then like the end, like going to the moon. It's just. Oh, I love the game, and then playing the co-op online with friends and like screaming at each other because we both don't know
Yeah.
what's going on.
And abusing your friends.
Ah, sweet memories.
Games where you can murder your friends.
It's probably the best games.
Best game of all time.
That is an honorable mention for me, I will say. Spoiler alert.
Portal
Anyone else have
2.
anything else to say about Portal 2?
Portal 1.
Yeah,
In Portal 1
it's a
was a
game.
thing.
In my opinion, better
Oh,
than 2.
okay. Hey, I understand.
Hey,
I understand.
are we gonna
I
fight on this
understand.
whole
though.
episode?
We're talking about delicious pizza.
It's a wholesome
from delicious
episode.
Pizza.
Yeah.
We won't fight. They're both fantastic. But Portal 1, in my opinion, you can't really get over the classic GLaDOS. And yeah, no.
Yeah, you can. Its name's Wheatley.
I think GLaDOS beats Wheatley, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
GLaDOS.
She's
GLaDOS
sassy.
yeah,
That's great
I love Wheatley, but GLaDOS is
I love
a little
Wheatley.
too sad. The little fat joke shit she makes at you
She's
throughout the game is good.
She's big.
So I kind of struggled with my number 5 in particular because how I wanted to do my top 5. Don't you a little spoiler action? How I wanted to do my top 5, I didn't want to include multiple games from the same series because, like, you love a series.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it's like,
You got to pick the best one.
and so that's what I did. And so honorable mentions, I have God of War 3, Dark Souls, Doom from 2016, Shadow of the Colossus, Portal 2, Uncharted 2, and Red Dead Redemption 2 eventually. I don't like putting new games on there too. I like letting them age a little bit.
You just remind me, Uncharted 4,
a great
an honorable mention.
It's a great game.
Yeah, great game.
So my number 5 though, if I was including same, I could put Dark Souls, I could put that kind of thing. But I'm gonna go ahead and say Shovel Knight. I love Shovel Knight. Shovel Knight's a really great game. I have a belt of Shovel Knight. I should have worn it today. A really lovely platformer that I really highly recommend everyone playing. It's if anyone has any connection to the Mario games, of the old Zelda games and that kind of stuff.
I've heard of it.
Yeah.
This game called Mario.
Mario.
And
saves-
Luigi.
He saves his queen from an evil sloth with
Spit on the
With a
queen?
shell.
a shell, a sloth with a shell.
Do you
yeah.
know
But
the way?
but there's the frog that's
Do you
in
know the
another
way?
castle.
Yeah, and there's the
Yeah,
frog
the
that
frog,
jumps
yeah.
across the street.
Yeah, yeah,
Frog Band.
That's Mario.
Also a puppet.
Yeah, Shovel Knight's a good game.
The Muppets. Yeah.
Highly recommend playing it. Lots of free DLCs that are just the game over and over again with different characters.
Honestly, I had like $10 burning a hole in my pocket. I'm like, you know what? I heard Shovel Knight. I
Shovel
hear
Knight,
it's a good game.
bang for your buck.
I literally like that month. Like I was just playing. It's a hard game,
Yep.
but it's a good challenge.
Very well designed,
It's
too.
the level design is amazing in that game. I absolutely love it, and it's such a unique concept.
Absolutely.
Like you just bounce on a shovel. And it's like what? I love it.
Bounce on a shovel.
Yeah, you just bounce on a shovel.
It's pretty cool.
Imagine the writers' meeting. He's like, all right, guys, I got this next $1 billion idea.
Yeah.
You're a knight. Everyone's like,
okay,
and your
okay.
weapon. It's like a sword. It's like, it's a shovel. Here's your money.
Here's all of our
All right,
money.
Landon, what are your honorable mentions in your numero
So-
50?
I didn't have any list of honorable mentions, but my honorable mentions.
You should have said so.
That's fair.
I played it when it first came out, back in its little pre-stage alpha days. Minecraft. Was one
Oh
of
my lord.
yeah.
so good.
What a
so
name
good.
drop.
And Fallout 3. Those are my two
Okay,
honorable
yeah,
mentions.
I love
Yeah,
it.
great games.
Actually, I don't like putting too many of the same title on there, but Fallout New Vegas as well.
That's what I was about to ask.
I have to sneak that in there. But I have to say my number 5 has got to be Half-Life 2.
Oh,
What a
okay,
controversial
okay.
I'm going classic.
Ooh.
Like Valve hit the nail hard with that game. I don't care if it's split up into different
Like
episodes.
6 different.
I just
games.
And it's an
put 'em all
unfinished
together.
series.
Yeah, because Valve can't.
I'm
They can't count
it.
the
yeah,
3.
yeah. I'm actually surprised because you're the first person I met who has Half-Life 2 on their top 5, but it's not number 1. Like,
Interesting.
Yeah. I want to see what
I
your
just
other
don't
games are.
interested. I don't consider it number 1. That's the thing.
He's just saying it's a
Yeah,
piece
yeah,
of
it's
garbage.
interesting.
I have
No, I love
have-
Half-Life 2.
Okay, I
love
have
it.
way too many favorite games, and this was so hard to put together.
Yeah.
So having it in my top 5,
Yeah.
that's pretty good as it is. Yeah,
It's
I have.
masterpiece.
chef's compliments.
I
Masterpiece.
just over break got the orange box on my. I haven't played it yet,
Oh
but I
my
will. I will get there.
God.
I
You're
know
like
that's a
12
big,
years too late.
That's a big hole in my gaming repertoire, so to speak. But I will get there. I
Orange
promise,
box
just
is
for you.
fantastic.
Just for you, Logan. You are
All right. Honorable mention. I'm gonna have to go with The Binding of Isaac Rebirth.
Okay.
Love that game. I love the original, but I think the sequel is just way better. It adds so many characters and so many levels and so many things that you can do in the game. I've pumped so many hours into both games, but more specifically The Binding of Isaac Rebirth. It's a very good game.
Did you say was that your number 5?
No, that was my honorable mention.
Okay, yeah, number 5. Then.
Number 5 is Tony Hawk's Underground. Angelo hates me. I don't know why. It's our personal favorite games, not best games of all time. Leave me alone.
Because of the meme.
It was the first Tony Hawk game with a story mode, and it was one of the first games that I really fell in love with. I begged my parents to take me to Blockbuster. Blockbuster, that's a name. To go get the GameCube copy of this game and play it in my living room.
Oh my lord.
But it's just a great game with a great story.
Awesome. All right, Parker, you're number 4.
Number 4. So this is another one where it's hard to pick which entry.
Okay.
It is. But I have to say that out of all the Legend of Zelda games, my favorite is Twilight Princess. Mostly because it was the first one that I could finish on my own without having to have like my dad to come in and rapidly hit the button for me or anything. So yeah, Twilight Princess I feel like has like the best story.
You're a wolf man?
Yeah, wolf man.
Parker Carlson, Wolf
Yeah.
Man.
I would have said Breath of the Wild before this, but I feel like Breath of the Wild it diverges a little too much from the Legend of Zelda formula.
That's fair.
And it's fair. I love Breath of the Wild, but it's not the best Zelda.
See, now my girlfriend is playing, or tries to play Twilight Princess, but she got stuck in a part we were escorting a carriage or something like that, and there's people shooting at you.
Yeah. There's some missions where it's like.
And she was like, "Can you help me?" And I was like, "I don't know if I really can."
Yeah.
I don't know if I can.
Full disclosure, I don't know if I can
playing
handle
the
this.
Wii. I don't know how to shoot on the Wii. My number 4 is Bioshock Infinite.
Good choice. I
love
love all the Bioshock games,
Yeah.
but Infinite's probably the best.
I love Infinite very,
2.
very much. I think it's a
Two's
very.
really good. Yeah.
I never played 2. 2's the only one I
Two's
played.
Yeah,
Two
yeah.
is
I'll get to it.
terrible.
Yeah. Two's mediocre.
I think
But
one
it's a
sort of more-
wholesome game because it's a wholesome episode.
Listen, let Bioshock
Two had-
Infinite bring us together, not 2 split us apart.
2 had decent gameplay, but 1, like.
Well, 1's very special.
Yeah.
I was
It's
about
an
to say,
analog
1
to
and
it.
Infinite are probably the best of the series, but 2 is just like trash. I'm gonna be
Back to
dead.
Infinite. Back to Infinite.
Positivity. This is the year of positivity.
It's clean trash.
Landon hates me.
It's clean.
Bioshock
Landon
Infinite,
hates me.
a gorgeous
all I
game.
stand for.
Outlandishly gorgeous, really fun to
Yeah.
play,
Yes,
extremely
of course.
great story. I love that game. That's all. Simple.
You know what? The DLC for it made it
Very-
for me.
Depressing
Depressing.
DLC.
I
Depressing.
finished the game. I'm like, this is an amazing game. I love it. It's top 10 list. And I played the DLC. I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna cry, but I love it even more.
Yeah. I feel like the story itself ends on such a good note that
Yeah.
the DLC is not really needed, but as an
it's
add-on,
a nice
it's really
inclusion.
great.
Yeah, it's a nice inclusion.
All right, number 4, Landon.
My number 4, and this is gonna be a big throwback, is Luigi's Mansion for GameCube.
My boy.
That's what I'm talking about.
Angelo's in that game.
So
I'm Luigi.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I knew Game Plus that over 50 times. My save file for that, it literally will say plus 50, or it was like 50 plus. Game plus 50.
You can't play the game unless you're 50 years old.
Aw.
Like
50 plus.
I've played through that game so many times. I know every
When's the last time
little
you played it?
secret- Not recently.
You gotta go back.
Fake fan.
It's like Lost. You gotta go back.
Okay, I have the GameCube, but I don't have the AV ports.
Excuses.
No, there's this thing.
Excuses.
There's this thing. I don't know if you've heard about it, but it's called emulators.
Okay,
You can
see,
download on your
that's
laptop.
fake.
Okay, that's fair.
Fake news.
Fake news.
Logan, number 4.
Number 4, Skyrim is my number 4. That one I'm currently replaying right now.
A little indie game.
Yeah,
little-
a tiny
yeah,
indie game
from a company
called
nobody's
Skyrim.
heard of.
No one's
It's called
heard of it.
Bethesda.
From a company that,
Yeah, I rebought it and got Angelo to start replaying
You
it
really
too.
did.
I did.
You
Yeah.
really did.
Yeah, it's
Burnt
ju-
through 2 hours of my life.
it's so good and it's so hard not to be a sneaky little archery boy shooting
God.
people.
See,
It's so hard.
I have it for VR.
Ooh.
And
Why are you flexing
What-
so
yeah.
hard?
Okay, look, I'm not trying to flex, but you really need to play it in VR. It is.
Then I'll come over.
If my bank
Fantastic.
account
Yes,
allows
please.
me to, I'd love
Yeah,
to.
right. If I had money.
Trust me, I saved up for months. So it just takes patience.
Yeah.
Okay.
Skyrim, we all know it's just a wonderful game.
You literally just have to say Skyrim, and it's like,
It's like,
understandable.
okay, I get it.
Understandable.
I don't know how
Yeah.
it stands next to Oblivion.
Never played,
Boy.
so.
Or Morrowind.
Skyrim's better.
Morrowind or Oblivion, I don't know.
Okay, Morrowind.
You heard of Elder Scrolls Online? No.
It's better than Fallout 4 or 76 or anything. That
I
you've
think
done
anything's
since,
better than
so.
76, to be honest.
I think a piece of crap is better than that.
Parker Carlson, number 3.
Number 3, it got me a little misty-eyed because I remember the studio closed down. We talked.
I know what this
You
is.
know, Walking Dead season 1.
Yep.
Really?
Oh,
Yeah,
season 1
Season
That is
1.
a-
Season 1.
Love season
That's a
1.
cripplingly depressing game.
First game I cried to.
Yeah.
Yeah, first game I cried to, and then like I don't want to play it again because I don't want to cry again.
Yeah.
It's such a sad ending, but it's so well deserved. Like the entire season builds up to it, and it's like
Not even the emotions but like if you add in the gameplay, which is super simplistic and kind of boring, the game isn't fun.
No,
It's
no,
kinda
no,
like
no,
Red
yeah,
Dead.
full
It's
disclosure.
not fun. It's not happy.
Yeah,
but it's
yeah.
good.
Not at all.
On paper, it sucks. Like, there's so much time walking around from place to place doing absolutely nothing.
So you're Walking Dead in the game. See what I'm doing?
Yeah, there are a few games where you can look back and I remember 20 moments of playing the game. Yeah, it's super memorable despite being so short. And
I think Telltale games in general are just great. Like Tales from the Borderlands.
Yeah.
that's the best one.
Love that
yeah,
game.
Wolf Among
Love
Us.
it.
Oh,
Rest in peace.
rest in peace.
Rip
Rest
in peace.
My number 3 is more recent than I usually like to go, but there's 2 series that I hold close to my heart as like my favorite series ever, and there's one of those.
Oh, I know.
feeling
I
one.
think
Yeah,
I
yeah.
do know
Yeah,
which one
we-
you're
we
talking
can get-
about.
we
And
know
here's
you.
the thing: I waited
know
until like
Black
today.
Ops 4.
Fortnite. All right, here's the thing: is that I waited until like today to even say this, everybody, because
good.
it's always been God of War 3 was my number 3 of all time, something like.
Yeah.
But it's now I think it has been upstaged by the new God of War. I will say, if only because it's aged with me, I guess in some ways, and it's just better than every other
Everything-
game.
every other?
ever. It's honestly this one and the next 2 are like, in my opinion, the 2 best games I've ever played, and the first one is the nostalgia game, kind of like we talked about. God of War is unparalleled, in my opinion. In terms, it's a very good game.
Okay, I just got
I
to say
relate,
this.
I relate.
Last time we talked about God of War on this podcast, I
Yes.
said I need to go back and play God of War 3.
Uh-huh.
I went ahead, I finished it like the other night.
Yep.
And I'm like,
of War
I
3.
gotta buy God of War now.
God of War 3.
I gotta buy the new one.
Was one of my favorite games until
Yeah, it absolutely
The other day.
such a blast to play, so I can't wait to play God
fantastic.
of War.
All right, Landon, number 3. Actually, I got a sneak peek at yours.
Yeah.
So do you want to chime in
With how many people ever heard of?
with number 2?
Oh yeah. So like his number 3, my number 2 is a little bit more recent, God of War. That game just, kind of took me by surprise, to be honest. Like, I didn't expect it to be that fantastic.
No. Plus, everyone said it was fantastic, and I got nervous. And then
Yeah, they're like, it's so great, and I'm like, do I really want to trust
Can
you
it be
guys?
though? Like,
Can of beans, though?
Y'all hype way too much stuff up that doesn't need to be hyped. Like, I had way too many people hype up 76,
Oh my
even
god.
after it came out.
It's not good.
No, and it's hard to trust people, and so they're like, yeah, it's great, and I'm like, ah. So
Can we just get a sound bite of that noise, please?
All
I
right, Landon.
play it, love it.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
What was your number 3 then? Sorry, I interrupted.
No, you're fine. Number 3, Red Dead Redemption 1. So good. So good.
Be good.
There's not much to say about it. Like it says for itself. Like it's just fantastic.
Yeah, I would argue, in my personal opinion, and again, Red Dead 2 is too new for it to be
Yeah.
up there for me, even though I adore it. Both the Red Dead games and Skyrim, in my opinion, are like, I didn't get super into Witcher, and I don't really care for Breath of the Wild, which is controversial, but like those are the 3 like top open world games.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So Red Dead
honestly.
is really a
Yeah.
classic
Yep.
and really fantastic. Logie.
All
number
right.
3.
Logie.
The original Saints Row is one of
my-
my favorite
ugh.
games. And Parker and I are going to argue because he likes 3 and 4 like the pleb he is. The very first Saints Row is the first game I ever got when I got my Xbox 360 for the first time. So much sentimental value. I know most of the dialogue in that game. Just, it's so good.
you know what? It's a wholesome podcast, so I respect your opinion.
No, you
Logan.
don't. And that's
I
okay.
respect your
And
opinion.
that's okay.
Positivity is great.
All
All right, Parker.
Saints Row 2 is good. I
Saints
like
Row-
I
okay,
like
yeah.
Saints
That's-
Row.
that's
We're
what
not
2 is
saying
okay.
that's
all I
bad.
needed. That's
we
all
can
I
agree
needed
on
here.
that. We
Not
can
saying
agree on
any
that.
of these games are
Saints Row
bad.
2 is a better game.
Okay.
I just like Saints Row 1 better.
Yeah. There we go.
Okay,
There-
that's
and
respectable.
okay. Okay.
Speaking of which, number 2, the poop number.
Saints
Which
Row
number 2?
Number 2, Arkham City.
Oh,
Arkham City. Yeah.
There we go.
Gotta be.
Oof. It was really tough between Arkham City and Arkham Asylum.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know.
Asylum's so
But,
good.
yeah,
Yeah,
but
I
I
think
had to
Asylum's
give
my
it to Arkham City because when I played Arkham Asylum, I'm like, this is an amazing game. They can't top it. I played Arkham City. I'm like, they topped it. It's just.
Again,
I love
story
it.
in
Yeah,
that
the
game?
story. Yeah, I love the story games. This is great. And Arkham City, I played it like 8 times back to back. New Games Plus. Like
It's
you.
so
Yeah.
good.
So good.
That's not a bad game.
It's, yeah.
It's an alright game.
It's all right.
Honorable mention.
At number 2.
My number 2 game, like I said, in terms of this and God of War being the two best games, in my opinion, I've ever played, Blood-Borne is my number 2. I love Blood-Borne.
I've heard you talk like so much good about it.
Well, here's the thing, and it's awkward, but like I said, number 1 is the most nostalgic game ever for me. Blood-Borne's probably my favorite game of all time. It's never going to take the title.
Okay.
Because of nostalgia.
It's
My number 1, which you'll see, is kind of locked in there forever, if only because of my childhood with it, and the fact that I still love it.
I didn't even have to look, and I already know what it is.
Yeah, well, I talk about it.
Yeah, you talk about it all the time.
It's a meme with my friends because I adore number 1. But Blood-Borne, I really, that's a really beautiful game, despite being so dark and depressing.
Yeah, really dark. Literally,
very dark.
I'd turn up the brightness.
But I highly recommend it if you are interested in getting into Souls games because it's a very good gateway drug, which was for me.
So I guess I can just interject real quick with the honorable mention. Borderlands series,
Just
really
solid,
good.
Solid in general.
Borderlands in general, just fantastic. Waiting for that 3rd game, but they're making they released a VR now, so
Who knows?
that was kind of stupid. But a 3 would be nice.
And then your number 2 is God of War, of course.
Yeah. Number 2, God of War.
Yes.
Logie, number 2.
All right, Angelo, you're gonna love me for this one. EA Skate, the very first one.
The meme, the dream.
The meme, the dream.
When EA was at its peak.
It really was. Yeah, back in 2007.
Back in the early 2000s. Yeah.
Back in the day, EA Skate. I still play the games to this day. I played it last week. Like I play the games too much.
The mechanics in the game was the stick.
Controlling. Is that where you could play as Darth Maul, or is it a Tony Hawk game?
That was a Tony Hawk game.
Yeah, I was about to say Tony Hawk had some weird shit.
Yeah, it had some weird stuff in
An
it.
experience of the series.
But yeah, it's EA Skate.
And finally, as we wrap up here within the next few minutes, our number 1 games of all time individually. What is your favorite game of all time?
My favorite game of all time. This was a really tough one.
Peggle 2.
You're joking, but that's close.
It's a great game.
It's a great game. I love it.
my list.
I'd have to say The Last of Us.
That's a solid
Yeah.
choice.
Not a bad game.
I was so hyped to play it. I
forgot
waited
about
like
that.
3 years avoiding spoilers so I can save up enough money to buy a PS4 and get
Good
The Last
Lord.
of Us remastered, just for that.
Again, talking about
And it was
you're into
worth
depressing
every
games.
bit.
We're all into
Parker's
Yeah.
a little depressed
Yeah,
boy.
I'm a little depressed boy, but it's it's good.
We were just talking about that game earlier in Slack. You missed
Really?
out. Yeah, it was in UML tutorials.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. All right.
We'll
Well,
sneak it.
you know what?
Some
Anything
meta talk
that
right here.
Naughty Dog does, amazing. But I feel like The Last of Us is the cream of the crop for them.
Yeah,
It's, yeah.
I forgot to put that in my top 5.
Yeah, that's a Again, I don't think most of our games are very controversial. I don't think, except maybe our number 1.
Except
maybe my number 1 in about 2 minutes. Not controversial. But like,
What do you mean?
all these are like
Parker's hated
really
my whole
esteemed
list.
games.
What do you mean?
All these are like. My favorite game of all time is Sly 2, Band of Thieves. And it'll always be Sly 2, Band of Thieves. Because that game is my childhood. Sly Cooper 1 was the first game I ever played. I didn't have a memory card, and so I would play the opening level over and over and over again. Because I didn't know how else. I didn't know there was a game.
I'm glad you did like leave your
I
console.
did. I did.
Did you?
I did.
Aw.
Oftentimes.
Did you
yeah.
burn your thing into the TV?
Well, like, here's the thing: is that my parents didn't like me playing games, and so I played Sly 1 because my grandpa gave it for me. He didn't know what was going on. I didn't ask for it. He just gave me. He just saw a cool video game thing, bought it for me because I was a kid. I played it, I loved it, and then I saw Sly 2, which is an open world game. Sly 1's not. And you see it, and it blew my mind. I was like, you could go anywhere.
You can do whatever you want.
I could climb. I love that game. I play it at least once a year, and it's still great. I love it, and it's wonderful, and it makes me happy. Unlike Blood-Borne and God-Borne and stuff, which sometimes make me sad because they're very hard.
Yeah. I've never played it, but I've never met a person that said bad things about Sly.
Sly Cooper.
Yeah.
Sly 4 is a piece of garbage.
I haven't heard that. There was a
there
Sly
it
4, so
goes.
there we go.
Sly 4 is a piece of garbage. That's a topic for another time. Top 5 hated games. Another.
Oh, speaking of which.
All right, Landon, favorite game of all time. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I'm going super classic with this one. Well, not super classic, but it's pretty decent. Pong. No. Halo Combat Evolved.
Ooh.
Okay, so Halo 2 is on my
Halo
mentions
2 is
list.
fantastic.
You know how we talked about gaming holes in our library? I never played.
You've never
played Combat Evolved.
have you played any Halo
I was
game?
a PlayStation 2 kid.
So you never
Oh
played like Reach?
no.
Halo Reach is so good.
Sorry, Landon. You love Combat Evolved. Why?
So, I like most of the Halo games. Like there was a couple screw ups in there.
Like after 3,
So like 3 was fantastic, 2 was fantastic, 1 is the best of all of them, I believe. Reach was fantastic, 4 was trash, ODST was fantastic.
ODST.
It's probably a good second on my
Mwah.
Halo list. Halo in general is just great. But Combat Evolved was like one of the first things I picked up on a controller when I was really, really little, which probably doesn't sound good. Sorry, Mom and Dad. But it was one of the first games I picked up and played and actually like just purely enjoyed. It wasn't something forced onto me. You know, like people weren't saying, you need to play it, you need to do this.
I don't want to kick your butt.
It's just something that will always hold a deep spot in my heart as like one of the greatest games I've ever played. Being very genuine with that game.
Yeah.
Logan, your favorite game of all time.
Favorite game of all time? Diablo 2.
The game that almost like killed you and took your life away? from
Yes,
everyone?
yes.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
I feel. Wait,
Yeah,
what?
for the boys out of loop here.
What's happening?
Logan just played it a lot.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah, I just played it.
I thought he literally almost died.
I mean, there are stories of that happening.
yeah.
Shot out of the Xbox and
No, but this holds a lot of value to me in a family aspect because I watched my brother and my dad both play it, and I wanted to play it so bad, and they wouldn't let me. And then when I started, I couldn't stop. I remember I spent a whole weekend. I went from Saturday morning till Sunday evening. I didn't sleep, and I played the game and grinded the game and leveled up. And I have so many characters on that game, so many 90+ characters, and it just holds that place in my heart.
This is a nice little sentimental episode. You see, now
it's
we're all in
sentimental.
the fields. We're going to sing Kumbaya and hug afterwards.
Yeah.
And sit by a campfire. But other than that, guys, that was this week's episode of 8-Bit Chat. Hey. Chat. We'll be back here in 2 weeks. We'll talk about some other stuff. I'll have some Resident Evil 2 impressions, and we'll talk about whatever's going on. I think Tyler Landis wanted to talk about Naughty Dog. Maybe we'll have you back on. I think that's what we're going to do, a little retrospective on the studio. We hope you guys enjoy. Follow, like, share, all the jazz that the YouTubers say.
Yeah.
Until next time, I'm Angelo Oriema. Next to me is
Parker Carlson.
Landon Corbin.
Logan Lewis.
And we'll see you guys next time. Thank you. Bye. Da-na.